Hello everybody, Brad Johnson here, and I'm just taking a stroll in a local park, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to create another video. And this video is all about taking the life curriculum and achieving mastery. So the other day, I was talking a lot about, different topics, but one of the topics I was discussing was looking into the nature of authenticity, where I said it's not about being equal, it's not about equality, it is all about authenticity. It is all about your unique self. It is about the genuine nature. Now, when I may say that, and saying that forget equality, forget the nature of trying to feel like you're equal with everyone and with everyone and everything, because you're not. Because to look at yourself in a state of equality is to basically feel that we are the same. In a way, we are from the one source. And that is something that we can take back. But the whole idea is that who and what you are as source consciousness will always be authentic, unique, and genuine. And as you understand that you are authentic, unique, and genuine, you want to look more at life in that way. See, this is the problem that I had for years, until, again, pretty recently, where I was discovering, there really is nothing equal to me when it comes to life. I've been looking at life the wrong way. I would say maybe I've been looking at life in the most incorrect way. And that's to think that people need to be equal to me, or the feeling that I need to make others feel that they need to be equal to me in another way as well too. And so I was looking into that a little bit more, representing equality. It just didn't fit. And this was a problem because I had subscribed to that idea, and I'd come up with these practices and methods and so forth. And there was times where I would just get irritated and saying, why aren't people following these things? Why aren't people doing these things? Don't they want to go to that place? Don't they want to go to that level? Don't they want to move into that type of advancement? And I was getting bogged down because I kept seeing people as being equal to me. And that is ignorance. But I know it's something that we've been taught throughout all of the systems of life about, that we want equality now, that we want equalness. And don't get me wrong, there's human systems that are created that will represent progress and processes and regulations and protocols that can benefit through what we would know as equality, having rights and privileges and so forth. But nature itself doesn't play with rights and privileges. Nature itself does not play with policies or processes of that nature, because those are all artificial, man-made creations. For you to have a right is a creation. That's a system. For you to have a privilege, again, is a system. It's an artificiality. It's something superficial. Not to say it's not beneficial if you play that game, but this is an important thing to remember as well too. So, as I was saying, what's most important though is looking at authenticity. And when you look at authenticity, you're truly in the state of just letting everything be authentically, uniquely, and genuinely expressed. It's a beautiful thing, because I don't have that, animosity or frustration or confusion about saying, well, why aren't people doing this? Why isn't a person deciding to walk this path? Don't they want to walk on equal ground with what I'm trying to teach and so forth? So that was the one thing that got me bogged down for quite some time. And I realized that as you start to walk the path of authenticity, you're basically walking the curriculum of life. And all the curriculum of life really is it's telling you How frequently, how often can you be authentically yourself? Can you walk down a path here like how I'm walking down this path, seeing people pass me by, and just be yourself? Not trying to change anybody, not trying to compare, because again, that's another thing about equality. Or again, looking into certain things with life is looking into how I can compare to somebody else. If I put something out and I see how well someone else is doing, and I see someone else may not be doing well to it, well, then I'm going to start comparing. I'm going to start analyzing and scrutinizing that. And that too just becomes much more of a burden than anything else. Can you just let yourself be authentic? Can you just let yourself be unique? Can you let yourself go into surrender? Because that's what authenticity promotes. It is the denotation to the nature of surrender. Because when you strip away everything, when you strip away the thoughts that incorporate how your body is, how your life is, the people in your life, the type of work that you do, the attributes that you hold, when you strip all of these things away to where you simply are the bare naked truth, only one nature remains, and that's authenticity. They've actually proven this through certain experimentation of working with certain groups and being able to strip that person away of all material goods, or stripping them away of everything that they feel they no longer have. But the only thing that they were able to detect energetically within that person was their authenticity. Authenticity will always remain. It will never ever leave you. And that is what is truly permanent. This is why I say authenticity is so important, because that is something that is permanent. Right? We can say consciousness, we can say awareness, we can say anything else really that when it comes to mind, the source, right? In that way, source consciousness, the source, the awareness of yourself. Okay, that's good. But how about authenticity? How about the ability to just simply be unique? How about the ability to simply be genuine? Right? That is the thing that always remains. That's what always will be with you. That's the permanence. So let's look a little bit more into the curriculum of life, because that is the age-old question, perhaps going back millions or even billions of years, to where mankind is asking themselves, what is this about life? What is the purpose of life? And if I'm looking at the purpose of life, then I'm looking at something that's really no more different than looking at equality, or the nature of being on equal ground. That's not the point. The purpose of life, if we subscribe to that, is the purpose that you give it. That's really the simple answer. What's the purpose of life? The purpose that you give it. But that's still not life itself. Life is not about purpose. It is about the nature of you revealing your authenticity, where life is helping you to show you what that authenticity is. And so it's going to give you all of these different scenarios, situations, circumstances, people, places, events, and things that are showing you, when you have an interaction with somebody, is it authentic? When you are on your own and you are simply with your thoughts, can you be authentic? When you are going about doing your work, committing to service, can you be authentic? And I would say the majority of the people on this planet don't, on a full-time level, express their nature of being authentic. But we have moments where we do. And that's the good news. Every single person on this planet has moments of authenticity. And those are exactly what you want to keep a hold of. You want to be aware of that authenticity. because that's what sets you free. Now, even if I'm talking about freedom, I'm still talking about a distortion, right? There's so many people online that are talking about the nature of freedom, how to be free, how to liberate yourself, right? Of course, I've had those conversations too, about being free and about liberating yourself and getting out of the muck. In a way, that's true. But even if you're looking at freedom, freedom is a distortion. Even if you're looking at liberation, liberation is a distortion, because that's still admitting to yourself that you were in peril. That's still admitting to yourself that you are not free. So it's not about freedom, and it's not about liberation. It's about authenticity, right? That really is the golden teaching here. That's the golden nature, because it's the one nature, is learning how to be completely and totally authentic, learning to be completely and totally unique, learning to be completely and totally genuine. And this is where the English language is always at such a terrible usage, because there's nothing that really describes authenticity than authenticity, or uniqueness, or the genuine nature. But when you start to be authentically you, really all it takes is just the ability to strip off everything that is inauthentic, right? When I want to be free, I'm inauthentic. When I want to be liberated, I'm inauthentic. When I want to feel like I want to be completely absolved of debts and so forth, then I'm being inauthentic, right? Because I'm striving to that, but I'm not being that. Authenticity and beingness really are one and the same. So that's an important thing to remember as well too, is remembering that when you are walking through life, just be authentic. Be the authentic self. And look at everything that is inauthentic, because I really can't describe to you what authenticity actually is, right? We have a word for it, but even that word still doesn't do it justice. Rather, we have to look at what is inauthentic, right? It's like when a person tells you what is the truth, there's really no answer to that. You could almost say authenticity, right? But even that, again, doesn't do it justice. So rather, when you're saying that, well, how can I be truthful? By looking at everything in your life that has made you feel untruthful. How can I be peaceful? While looking at everything in life that has made you unpeaceful. How can I be authentic? Looking at everything in life that has brought inauthenticity to yourself. So what is that? Well, that's everybody's unique journey. That's the life curriculum. How about taking the life curriculum to understand what is inauthentic to you and learning to let it go and intending to release it, letting it move on from yourself and just coming into authenticity. And coming into authenticity is no more different than coming into your own truth, right? I would say it's not even your truth, it's just the truth, right? There really is no your truth. There's just the authentic truth. So going through the life curriculum involves times to say, is this really who I am? You know, the way I'm acting towards this person, is that who I am? The way that I feel like I have to almost kill myself to make a living, is that really who I am? The fact that I have to struggle, that I have to fight, that I have to claw, because my parents want this, because my partner wants that, because my children want this, because my grandchildren want that, because my best friend wants this, because my teacher wants that. Well, there's an example of inauthenticity as well too. As long as we feel like we need to get approval from other people, that's inauthentic. And that really is no more different than a lot of other things that I've talked about in the past, about when we're looking at the 4 particular traumas representing man. So we have abandonment, we have rejection, we have abuse, we have escape. And escape will often lead to addiction, right? So again, those still apply. But the whole idea here is not looking at life and saying that I'm equal to everybody else and that everybody else is equal to me. No, because that's not true. You are your own unique, genuine, authentic self. And that everyone is you, and that is correct, and you are everyone, that is correct. But it's all part of this fractalization of life. Life has these unique fractals. These fractals will never be identical. Just as you could never find two identical snowflakes, you could never find two identical beings, because there isn't one. There's no such thing as two identical beings, because there's only you. This is exactly what I've talked about before, is that you are the only one here. This is your life. Only you are experiencing life. Who else is experiencing life? Nobody, right? It's just yourself. It's your own unique, authentic, genuine journey through the curriculum of life. To realize that I am an authentic being. And everyone that I see are elements of that authenticity. They are elements, they are reflections of my own authenticity, of who and what I am within. These reflections, these elements come into me to help me along my journey in realizing my own authenticity, in realizing the unique nature that I am. That God, Him, herself, itself, is also unique. That one man or one woman's God is never the same as another's, right? This is why we struggle so much. We try to compare and we try to find equal footing, and you're not going to. You're going to find similar ground. You're going to find some similarities, and that's how we vibrate and align with the elements in our life. But it's just letting go. It's releasing the feeling that I need to get approval to try and get everybody on equal ground to me, because really I just want to turn this world into my own design. I want to put my own face on this planet, and that through that face that I create, then that is where I feel I need to absolutely control everything, right? I need to control everything because I'm insecure about all these other things happening in the world, and I don't want them to happen. It all needs to be on equal footing with me. And sorry, life is saying, my friend, it's not how it works. This is not your life to control. This is not your life to manipulate. This is not your life to siege, right? Feel that you are going to remake everything in your own image. You know, we've had oligarchs, we've had secret societies trying to do that for many thousands of years, and look how far they got. They basically had control of pretty much every single resource on the planet, and they have not been able to do that. So what makes you think you're going to be able to, right? It is all about the nature of you being completely and totally authentic. It is all about you learning to let everything go, to simply just observe what life is trying to say to you and embrace that, because it's telling you to let go of something that you've held on to for a very long time. It's telling you that you've struggled. It's telling you that you're fighting. It's telling you that you're resisting. And life's entire design is to bring you back into authenticity. That's really what it comes down to. That's not its purpose, that's its nature. Its nature is to bring you back into authenticity. Because as long as we continue to live inauthentically, we suffer, right? We react to everything. There's the cause. We suffer to everything. There's the effect, right? Reaction that leads to suffering is, again, implemented by us being unwilling to be our authentic self, right? These are just things to remind yourself of. The life curriculum is all about helping you to return you back into the authentic nature that you are. You could call it God, you can call it the self, you can call it the source, you can call it consciousness, you can call it awareness. Whatever you decide to call it, it's you. That is exactly what life is here to do. You put yourself into life and you get yourself scrambled. You get yourself caught up in the cobweb of everything that is holding on to you, trying to tell you this is what life is, right? We try to look for meaning. We try to look for purpose. We try to look through circumstance. We try to look through endeavors and journeys. But that's actually like the Chinese finger trap that is pulling at your finger more and more. Because I'm supposed to be this, I'm supposed to be that. And there's inauthenticity right there, right? When you serve others, you're doing it because it's your own authentic nature to do that. When you're moving through life and you feel like you want to be compelled to follow a certain direction, you want to do a certain type of work, well, that's your own authentic self telling you to do that, right? When you have certain people in your life and you feel very connected with those people and you know that they're assisting you and they're helping you and they're supporting you because they're being wonderful elements in your life that are showing you a greater depth to yourself, well, that's your own authentic nature to do that. The way you eat food, the type of food that you eat that you know is benefiting you, that you know you're getting a lot of energy, you're getting a lot of vitality. The type of teachers, mentors, and guides and helpers that come together with you in life that is helping you to strive to become even greater than you are, benefiting yourself, moving yourself into a broader expansion of being, well, that's your authentic self helping you. That's your authentic self telling you to do that. You see what I mean? It all comes down to authenticity, uniqueness, and the genuine nature that you are. And that is how you surpass the curriculum of life. That's how you realize yourself. That's how you recognize who you are and what you are. By following the path of authenticity that really is not a path at all. It's just you. So to start off, look at everything in your life that is inauthentic. Look at everything in your life that is conflicting. And if I can do that and realize that that is exactly where the start of my inauthenticity lies, all I'm doing is just what I've talked about before, softening it, lightening it up, and letting it go. Right? So like I said, we can say being free, but it's not even about being free. It's about being authentic. Oh my goodness, I'm feeling much more genuine nature of myself. I can feel my uniqueness coming in. I can feel authentic again. That's really what it comes down to. Do not concern about freedom. Do not concern about liberation. Only look into yourself as an authentic, true, genuine, loving, and unique being. That is your nature. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you again in another perspective of the now. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskar, and may it be well with you.